What if I told you that there are hundreds of hidden details you missed in Cyberpunk? And what if I told you that in this video, I'm going to cover every single one? Welcome back to the channel, my friends. My name's Ian and I love video game secrets. Dude, I love secrets so much that I created a video game channel about it. And today, we're going to talk about a game that's very close to my heart. Cyberpunk 2077. Look, I love everything there is about Cyberpunk. I love the story and I love the characters. But you know what I love most? The details. The tiny things that make Night City feel alive. So today, I'm showing off all the ones you missed, from the obvious tier 1 secrets to the most insane discoveries that people are still finding today. Shout out to the Schizo Chooms on the Cyberpunk subreddits for keeping the hunt for details of this game alive. So unzip those pants and crack open that bottle of Nicola. This is my Cyberpunk 2077 Details Iceberg. And we'll start with tier 1. The easy to spot details that anyone can find. There's something crazy about the news in Cyberpunk, and trust me, it's way cooler than you think. One of the best parts of Cyberpunk is the world building. The story and Frenchwoman are obviously close seconds, but I just love how the world feels so alive. And how did the devs manage to pull that off? Well, it all comes back to the news broadcast. See, the news actually changes based on your actions. Reporters will cover big events, like Arasaka's arrival and the offing of an old Japanese man. But it doesn't just stop there. The news will even respond to smaller gigs you complete, like the execution of a shady CEO and the promotion of Wayseeker's favorite corporate mommy.
Thanks to Militech's Centaur-class exosuits, they can keep themselves safe, and all the rest of us even safer.
But it gets even deeper. See, N54 and WNS are the two big competing networks, the former pro-Militech and the latter pillow-talking with Arasaka, and each will put its own twist on what's happening in the city, offering a new perspective on the same story. It's a detail that makes it feel like Night City's watching you, reacting to what you're doing and the things you've accomplished. So next time you hear Jillian Jordan on the streets, stop to tune in. You might have just made the headlines. The secret of the cemetery in Cyberpunk. But first, some context. In the early days, Night City's dead faced a pretty unique problem. When loved ones were buried, Russian scabs would dig up graves to steal implants, like a Black Friday bargain bin at Wally World.
Give me that camera! Give me that! Who wants some deals?
So, cremation became the go-to aftercare method, and after a few decades, the Columbarium was born, standing in North Oak as a tribute to thousands of Night City's departed. But that's not the coolest part. See, while the building itself won't grow a pair of legs and move, the plaques inside are far from static. Inside, you'll find headstones honoring major Cyberpunk characters, like Jackie Wells, Alt Cunningham, and of course, Johnny Silverhand. But you'll even find out-of-universe ones too, nods to Sid Mead, Roy Batty, and true fans of the Cyberpunk game. You'll even spot minor characters, like Judy's ex-girlfriend, and the best AI vending machine a Choom could ask for. Oh, and you'll also find the entire Edge Runners crew, which is proof that Lucy's alive, by the way, all laid to rest here in Westbrook. It's a small detail for sure, but one that reconnects us with everyone we met on our climb to the big leagues. So if I were you, I'd make it a habit to check back often. You meet the strongest Cyberpunk characters at this location, and I'll give you a second to take a guess. No, not the Afterlife, and no, not at Embers. Nobody even goes there anyways. I'm talking about the Black Sapphire, the 99-story luxurious hotel out here in Dogtown. See, the Black Sapphire was once planned as the crown jewel of Pacifica. Now, it's owned by Hanson and his Chihuahuas, a place for him to host his dirty Night City pajama parties. And at these parties, you'll touch tips with some of the game's most dangerous characters. There's renowned reporters, Jillian Jordan and Arif Iqbal.
Jillian Jordan and Arif Iqbal? In the flesh, and together, no less. I just wanted to say hi.
Hey.
Where were we?
You'll even find Mayor Holt and Night City's most corrupt police chief, but you'll even find some of the other crazy faces, like the Russian mob, elite Tiger Claw bosses, and Elon's ex-wife. You'll even find our favorite boomer uncle, our Arasaka goon, Goro Takamura. You can share a drink with them at the bar too. Here you'll meet the fish who put some of the game's biggest events in motion, so shake hands with them all. It's a nice detail that puts a face to the names behind all the chaos. Here's an awesome detail for Cyberpunk music lovers. We all know Cyberpunk's got one of the best gaming soundtracks in the world. Full stop, that's a fact. We've seen big musical moments like Johnny rocking out in the dev room, or Carrie playing his hidden guitar riff, which by the way, only 10% of players have discovered. But here's another musical detail you might have missed. When NPCs play their instruments, like the guitar for example, they're not just strumming along. They're actually fingering, pause, they're actually doing the correct fingering and plucking the right chords. And it's all because the team motion captured real performances. For every random busker or Silverhand campfire moment, you'll experience an authentic musical performance. That's real strumming, real chords, and correct finger picking. Even the pianists play correctly. And in Phantom Liberty, you'll find characters jamming out on the handpan too. Real notes and rhythms properly captured and portrayed in game. It's this kind of attention to detail that keeps players immersed, and it's one of the reasons why I think Night City is so damn great. Good job, CD Projekt Red. This is the most realistic part of Cyberpunk, and it's a detail so big that some of the industry's top animators had to speak out. In many cutscenes, characters' body language speak louder than any dialogue could. Take your first meeting with the horizontally challenged Dex. Jack leans back, spreads his arms, and starts to aura farm the entire room. But look at his leg, it's shaking uncontrollably. A sign of stress, something my Filipino mother would also beat my ass for. Cyberpunk excels at using these subtle movements to reveal a character's thoughts and feelings. They'll break eye contact during sad or tense moments, darting their eyes like when speaking a songbird for the first time. Even Dan Lowe, the principal tech animator at Sony, praised these details. He highlighted the scene where you meet Ev and Judy for the first time. Notice how Evelyn naturally shifts when her name is mentioned. She's not just staying static like in most video game dialogue. Here, she moves freely. She leans forward during a juicy part of the conversation and interacts with her surroundings as she moves about. Even small touches, like Judy's chair moving as she scoots in, ground the character in realism, making each interaction feel alive. So next time someone doubts Cyberpunk's attention to detail, just show them this video. The Cyberpunk dancers are really schmoovin'. It's another one of those details that bring Night City to life. Take pole dancing. No gooning around here. Bro, those aren't random spins around a metal pole like some Tuesday night sideshow. Those are genuine, technically accurate dance moves. Don't ask me how I know that. We're talking spins, hood ornaments, shoulder mounts, and supermans. Moves only a professional could do. But that's because a professional might have actually been involved. See, someone caught Maya K, a professional pole dance and stretching instructor, posting an image of the CDPR logo, possibly proving that the dancing in this game, just like the instruments, were motion captured too. It's a level of detail that makes the game feel so much more real, especially when you walk inside the game's many clubs. But the whole thing begs an even creepier, scarier question. If the Cyberpunk devs captured precise musical chords, lifelike body language, and now intimate dance choreography, what the hell is V doing? And more importantly, who the hell mocap those Mickey Mouse level dance moves? If V and Commander Shepard ever had a dance off, they could possibly destroy the world as we know it.
Captain on deck!
Has he always been like this?
The dark truth of these cyberspace locations. In Cyberpunk, they're not just random locations you'll find anywhere. In fact, they're deeply tied to Johnny and V's memories, and most Cyberpunk players miss this completely. See, there's only a few times you enter cyberspace, but when you do, you'll find yourself in two places. When you jack in as Johnny, you'll find yourself in a tiny square room, the exact room from Arasaka Tower, the one where Johnny himself was defeated by Smasher. There's evidence that this room was actually where Johnny passed, but we'll save that for another video. And later, when you reach Mikoshi as V, you'll see a distant beam of light. But this here is actually one of the craziest locations in the game. Look at it closely. It's Konpeki Plaza, the place where V's own story took a dark turn. It seems that each location is a defining moment in V or Johnny's life. And here's something even crazier. Restart the game and choose the Nomad path. See that sticker on the back of your car? Well, tell me in the comments what it reminds you of. Maybe Nomad V is a canon star after all. Maybe Cyberpunk's all just one big simulation. But that's just a theory. A game. The Cyberpunk life paths really matter. In Cyberpunk, your life path does so much more than just shaping your intro. Sure, you get some pretty unique items, like the exclusive car and Teemo-like samurai jacket, but your life path also does so much more than that. See, the life path you choose unlocks dialogue options that can change the game completely. Nomad V gets special dialogue whenever dealing with other nomads, like when confronting the Corpo blamed for nomad experimentation.
What? No!
And Street Kid can talk their way out of most gang encounters, like this annoying one at a diner when some scrawny Gen Z thugs start running in. But Corpo V can take that even further, a detail that went largely unnoticed until just recently. In the gig Gimme Danger, you and popular Night City comedian Hideshi Hino are sneaking into the Arasaka Industrial Park. And if you look to your left when planning your route, Corpo V will notice the guard. This will trigger an option where V can name drop their boss.
Need your name, Sentry.
How about we start with yours?
See, nobody told me about
Unscheduled inspection regarding sensitive data leaks? How about I raise the op exec on comms? Really want to tell Abernathy how she's supposed to proceed with this inspection?
I didn't mean to.
Then step aside and man your station.
And you'll enter the facility scot-free. It's a nice detail that keeps every run feeling so fresh and personal. Is Cyberpunk's V a hooper? Living in Night City is tough. Even the best of mercs need a break from all the chaos from time to time. And that means more than a night out on Jig Jig Street. But one of the coolest details relates to all the activities V can do. In the Japantown apartment, V can chill and play the guitar, strumming the same chords they learned with Johnny. And in Haywood, V can play a quick game of pool, appropriately reacting to a shot that would piss me off too.
Rat.
But more importantly, yes, V can even hoop. At the start of the Corpo life path, V can channel their inner Draymond. They'll lay out two thugs before casually sinking a Chef Curry kisser. And in Phantom Liberty, you'll meet Idris Elba at a court in Dogtown. The Chooms on the court will finish their game, and here you'll have two options. You can drain a smooth jumper from behind the arc.
And the crowd goes wild. For a refund.
Or you can dunk it like a 40-year-old LeBron. Which gets a nice reaction from the people watching. These details do nothing for the story, but they do give our favorite cyber psycho a bit more personality besides being a merc. This Cyberpunk character cuddles with Nibbles. Nibbles is one of the two pets you can get in Cyberpunk, and they're also one of the game's many mysterious felines. But mystery aside, here's a really cute detail you might have missed. See, someone at CDPR might actually be a cat lover, and that's because there's quite a few cute-ass interactions you can have with Nibbles. When you first adopt your kitty cat, Nibbles will chill in the corner, like your introverted friend at a Friday night kickback. But come back later, and you'll find Nibbles somewhere else, sometimes at your desk, and sometimes on your bed catching that last hit of your warmth. But on the rare occasion, you might even find Nibbles in your shower. Not showering, mind you, just curled up all cutely on the tiles. Of course, V's a psychopath, so they'll get a chance to trigger this funny scene. Things get way better when you throw the second pet into the mix, Iggy the iguana. Sometimes when the moon shines just right, you'll catch Nibbles and Iggy cuddling on your beanbag. A truly wholesome eye bleach moment. A scene that helps you forget, just for even a second, about that one-armed parasite in your head. V can get tased in Cyberpunk. There's a fun little Cyberpunk detail that reminds me of Chewbacca getting vibrated.
Taser! Taser!
In the first mission of Cyberpunk, you're sent to rescue Sandra Dorset, a wet woman in a bath surrounded by European men. Eerily familiar to a plot of a video I watched one time. After a sequence clearing the hideout to the game's best song, you'll find Sandra, and you'll activate her trauma team signal to save her. But here's the fun part. See, trauma will arrive and land on the balcony, and the soldiers spilling out will holler orders to put her on the ground and step back. Most players don't know, but you can actually set her down and test your luck. See, if you walk towards the guard after putting down Sandra, the lead will tase V on the spot, putting them on the ground just enough until they fly away. Honestly, I'm just surprised trauma didn't open fire immediately. They always struck me as a shoot first, ask questions later type of corp. Either way, it's a hilarious way to learn not to mess with Night City's weaponized registered nurses. Did Cyberpunk TSA arrest V? In the songbird ending of Phantom Liberty, you're tasked to infiltrate the NCX spaceport, one of the most secure locations in the game. See, the spaceport belongs to Orbital Air, a powerhouse corporation coming out of a unified Africa, and they hold a complete monopoly on all space travel. If anyone wants to go to the Crystal Palace or the moon, they have to go through these spaceports. So of course, security here would be no joke. At one point during the gig, you're told to pass through a metal detector, but if you ignore the instructions and walk through, or stutter or choose skin tone number 12, the guard will tase you and knock you out, and you'll wake up in a holding cell, with both Song and Johnny judging you for your poor life choices.
What the hell were you thinking? If getting into the Tycho terminal were that simple, I'd be sitting on that shuttle hours ago.
Thankfully, the jail's located close to our target, but it's still an embarrassing way to go out. How does one of the strongest mercs in the world, who's had Netwatch, MaxTac, and countless global security forces chase after them, get dropped by the damn TSA? But then again, a Cyberpunk TSA does sound pretty badass. Maybe we'll see that in Cyberpunk 2. Did you know you can fail Phantom Liberty? As the most powerful merc in Night City, failure shouldn't ever be an option. But of course, it's still a possibility. In fact, you can fail Phantom Liberty in many ways most players don't realize. See, certain dialogue choices can knock you off the main story entirely, blocking you from getting key missions and some of the juiciest weapons in the game, like the Black Hog hack, like the Black Wall quick hack, or possess crackhead Skippy variant.
You see the key to a door that does not exist. Typical of your kind.
We're introduced to our Korean queen at the start of Phantom Liberty, and she pleads with us to save the president, but fail to reach her on time or take too long doing some last minute clothing shopping, and she'll leave you an angry 1-star review, knocking you out and dumping you outside.
Congrats, V. You just killed Rosalind Myers and the NUSA. Pray we don't meet again, and I mean ever.
But there's an even more blatant failure inside Dogtown. When Myers and Reed reveal their plan to deal with Hansen, you can flat out pull a Natalie Portman and just say no. They're not happy with your response, but of course they'll go on without you, and we'll never know if they succeeded or not. So yeah, you can actually fail Phantom Liberty, and after playing through it a couple times, it might actually be for the best.
What the?